Ken, I could not be any better, and I'm impressed with that introduction and humbled by it.
Oh, I only lie twice a day, so you caught one of them. Your band, I mean, there's a difference, honestly, in bands, and you say, well, a local band, and it kind of the bad kind of gets mixed in with the good. But we'll get into McCarthy Union in just a second, but the BillyRock band, for three guys, really pumps out a lot of music. There's a lot of music coming out from you guys, a lot of sound, wall-to-wall sound, almost Phil Spector-esque. Tell me a little bit about that.
So I am so happy to be able to play with the two gentlemen that sidle me each time we're on the stage. Christian Robles, who also actually performs with me in Philip Meyer's band, and he and I have seen all ends of the earth together.
Yeah.
He is a former Berkeley student, went to school there with the likes of Nora Jones and John Mayer, Alicia Keys, and too many to reference here. But he is what I refer to as part of that 2%ers club. He is a guitar slayer of the highest order. And I've actually gotten him to sing in my band, which is a step he hadn't taken prior to our band. So it's great to be able to play on stage with him. And then Chris Hooks, my bass player, and he is also an engineer of the highest order. So I have to give him credit for the fidelity of our sound. He is very good at what he does, multidisciplined. And Chris is actually a former Platter Gong Show winner and has also traveled and toured 5 of the 7 continents. So,
wow.
I'm humbled by the two gentlemen I get to share the stage with. So they prop me up in many ways. So, yeah, they've been a great contribution in what BillyRock band does.
You are a singing drummer. Don Henley, Levon Helm, Phil Collins, Roger Taylor, they were all singing drummers. It's been my experience in just talking to a lot of those guys that you have to be in shape to be a singing drummer, because the physicality of what you do with your instrument, compounded by having to have great vocal range, is no small trick. So you must be a guy that hits the gym quite a bit.
I do. By gym, I hit my chin-up bar, and the workout that I do happens in front of my TV at home. But I've found a regimen that works for me.
Yeah.
That doesn't take up too much of my time. And, drumming's a very aerobic exercise in and of itself. But yes, adding lead vocals to that it's a different creature. And it's taken me a number of years to kind of hone that craft, because, when you're dividing those two tasks on stage, you almost feel like one or both have to give a little bit in order to do both. It's that old idea of patting your head and rubbing your stomach at the same time. So, but, it was all born from years and years and years of being a backing vocalist as well as a drummer. So I was always the guy in the band that would sing the third, the fifth, the seventh in, harmony capacity. Sure. And it was really Chris Hooks who encouraged me to slide the drum set forward and take center stage. And he said, you have a lead voice. You should use it. You should develop it. And with his support, I was able to kind of step into that role, and now I love it. I would never turn back.
Billy McCarthy's our guest, BillyRock Band, and if you haven't had a chance to see them, you got to not go to see them, run to see them. McCarthy Union is another one of your projects. You've got an album out right now, Color of the Diamond Ring. It's a harder edge. I mean, this is original rock and roll stuff that you guys have out, and there are a number of songs on that album that I really like.
Falling through your door, knowing your heart ain't there anymore. Simple feelings in your space, empty eyes have taken your place. You can be what you wanna be. You took all the best of me, everything that makes going on.
McCarthy Union was almost an accident. I had been partnered up in the past with amazing guitarists, Scott Hacker and Elton Clifton here in town, local musicians that are very active and very busy in the Cincinnati music scene, along with Greg Tudor, who is also very well connected into the music scene and has played with everyone. and Alex Flush, once again, reoccurring.
You can be what you want to be. You took all the best of me. Everything that makes you going on. Everything that keeps you going strong. You can be what you want to be. You took all the best of me. Everything that makes going on.
In the past, we had done what we called the one-night stand band, and that was an effort to put together a Christmas song along with a lot of other musicians in Cincinnati. And each year we would do a collection of Christmas songs and donate those proceeds to the Children's Food Bank for the holidays. You know, after the fourth year doing it, Scott was like, I actually have some other song ideas. Why don't we go into the studio and see what we can do? So we got together and started putting together some songs, and before I knew it, we were looking at an album, and those guys really ran with it as far as producing it and getting it mixed and mastered. It was mastered by one of Cincinnati's best, Ashley Shepard.
Oh, yeah.
And, I didn't have a lot of expectations, really, with this one, Ken. I just put it out there to share with my fan base and some of our collective fan bases, and before I knew it, Best of Me had 15,000 views and seemed to hit with a good number of people. So we are currently following up with another track off that, Love Me That Way.
One day, your love is all around me. Too strong, it's never gonna die. One look from an ever-lonely stranger. One look from your eyes the next day. I know you never loved me that way.
There's like 4 or 5 really strong songs on that album, and we're actually in the studio currently putting together basic tracks for the next album. So I'm going to try and put together a different promotional launch for that one to see if it can get some legs. But I am the luckiest man on earth at being able to do the things that I do, and I would not be anywhere if it wasn't for the support and friendship of all the fans that come out to see us and comment on social media. So
Wow.
I am truly, truly, truly humbled by the support that we get.
I know you've had a lot of people tell you this, but you are wildly talented. And I think it's
Well,
borne out not just in the music that you make that we hear here in Cincinnati, but you've collaborated with a lot of great musicians. You've worked with Bobby Kimball, who I think is just phenomenal, the former lead singer of Toto, John Elefante from Kansas. I mean, there's a whole lot of people that you've had the ability to collaborate with, and my guess is along the way when working with other artists of that nature, that you've picked up a few things that have helped you in your life. And that seems to be the way music goes. It's a very small, close-knit family, and it only expands when somebody new comes in that's talented enough to work with that very small, close-knit family, and obviously you are. So you have to feel blessed that way, too.
Indeed, I do. I chuckle at times thinking back to my early beginnings, with my drum set up in my bedroom and me playing to the songs that I'm currently playing now with my eyes closed, just kind of envisioning someday I'm going to be on a big stage and people, all of those dreams that you have as a kid. And I have had more than a few pinch myself moments when I've wound up on stage with the very artists whose music I played as a child. And a lot of that was through Philip Myers, who in his own right is just wildly successful and impressive with his credentials and resume. He was the Jesus Christ and Jesus Christ Superstar on Broadway. He's performed for 4 of the 5 living presidents, toured and performed with Elton John, Celine Dion, John Denver, Don Henley, Willie Nelson, Dolly Parton,
Wow.
Kenny Rogers. I mean, I could go on and on and on. And eventually he developed a niche into the corporate entertainment world. And that is how I was able to meet and perform with all of the artists that I've been able to play with.
Here's a sad story of life, your American dream. Now there's millions of people, the nose is up on the screen. Like this, love this, hate this, we laugh out loud. Thousands of miles of roads, but nobody's getting out. I have to die trying to see that wide open road. I have to die trying to feel the end of the road.
You know, the thing is there are certain bands that just, it's more than a niche following. It's universal in appeal, and I just think you got it, man. And I'm trying not to be real prejudiced here because you did go to Ohio University. And,
Yes.
you know, I mean, there it is again, just all these talented people that come out of that little town in Athens. But keep it up, man. Don't stop. Just keep cranking it out. And good luck. Good luck. And thanks for joining us here on 700 WLW. BillyRock, Billy McCarthy.
The miles were short.